with you for another video. This is another one in actually not even a video series, but kind of my live stream series, if you will. Um, Today actually marks the 20th anniversary of Welcome Interstate Managers, which was Fountains of Wayne's third album. And the first one of theirs that I got into, I went back later and looked at some of their earlier albums, and then of course got their later albums as well. But this particular record was very influential for me, both as a music fan and then eventually as a songwriter. And there's a lot of Fountains of Wayne and their cynicism that has kind of snuck into my subconscious, I suppose, over the years, and hopefully into my songwriting as well. So, what I'm going to do for this particular live stream is I'm going to play these songs and I'm going to talk about them a little bit as well, who wrote them and all of that, because there were two songwriters in Fountains of Wayne, Chris Collinwood and the late great Adam Schlesinger, and those particular songwriters are just incredible in their own unique ways. So we're going to start off with the first track. I'm going to play them in order, and this is an Adam written song called Mexican Wine. And I hope you enjoy. He was killed by a cellular phone explosion. They scattered his ashes across the ocean. The water was used to make baby lotion. The wheels of promotion were set into motion, but the sun still shines in the summertime. I'll be yours if you'll be mine. I tried to change, but I changed my mind. Think I'll have another glass of Mexican wine. Yup. She lived alone in a small apartment across the street from the health department. She left her pills in the glove compartment. That was the afternoon her heart went, and the sun still shines in the summertime. I'll be yours if you'll be mine. I tried to change, but I changed my mind. Think I'll have another glass of Mexican wine. I used to fly for United Airlines, then I got fired for reading High Times. My license expired in almost no time. Now I'm retired and I think that's fine, because the sun still shines in the summertime. I'm yours if you'll be mine. I tried to change, but I changed my mind. Think I'll have another glass of Mexican wine, because the sun still shines in the summer. The sun still shines. I'll be yours if you'll be mine. Trying to change, but I changed my mind. Think I'll have another glass of Mexican wine. Think I'll have another glass of Mexican wine. Won't you have another glass of Mexican wine? All right, and that was Mexican Wine, like I said, the lead track off of, Welcome Interstate Managers, which turned 20 today. We're celebrating all day. That was one of the, first Fountains of Wayne songs that I ever remember hearing, even before I had the full record. I just remember hearing that one and just really liking it. And then obviously digging into the lyrics a little bit deeper of all this bad stuff that's going on, whether it's to you or to others. And, your response is just, I think I'll have another glass of Mexican wine. I was actually at a wedding in February in Mexico, and they had wine at the rehearsal dinner the night before. And I was really excited because my friend Paul, it was his sister that was getting married, and he, was obviously at the wedding. He was the one who got me into Fountains of Wayne, and so I was really excited, especially after getting the second glass and told him that I had another glass of Mexican wine. And he really appreciated that. We actually got to see Fountains of Wayne together in 2009, July 7th of '09, and it was a really cool show, all acoustic, and really a great, great experience. But one of my other favorites, once I actually got the record, and for context, I was 10 when this record came out, going on 11. And so a lot of the themes in this, might have kind of flown over my head, but they were fun to listen to and all of that. But one thing that didn't fly over my head is the chorus to this song, and I'll explain that in a little bit. Actually, all the ways that this song has influenced me. But this is a song called Bright Future and Sales, and I hope you enjoy it. Sleeping on a planet at the Port Authority, waiting for my bus to come. 7 scotch and sodas at the office party. Now I don't remember where I'm from. I think I had a black wallet in my back pocket with a bus ticket and a picture of my baby inside. And if I make it home alive, I'm gonna get my shit together, 'cause I can't live like this forever. I've come too far and I don't want to fail. I got a new computer and a bright future in sales. Yeah, 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 yeah. 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 Heading for the airport on a misty morning, gonna catch a flight to Baltimore. Try to kill an hour with a whiskey sour. If there's time, I might have just one more. I gotta do some quick reading for the big meeting, but my head is spinning and I can't quite open my eyes. As long as I don't have to drive, I'm gonna get my shit together, 'cause I can't live like this forever. I've come too far and I don't want to fail. I got a new computer and a bright future in sales. Yeah, 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 yeah. 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 I had a line on a brand new account, but now I can't seem to find where I wrote that number down. I try to focus, I'm staring at the screen, pretending like I know what all these little flashing lights mean. Gotta do some quick reading for the big meeting, but my head is spinning and I can't quite open my eyes. I gotta get my shit together, 'cause I can't live like this forever. I've come too far and I don't want to fail. and a bright future in sales. Yeah, 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 yeah. 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 All right, and that was Bright Future in Sales. That was another Adam song, by the way. Actually, these first four are going to be Adam Schlesinger's songs, penned by him. Now, just to kind of draw back the curtain on the process, if you look at the Fountains of Wayne records, they're written or attributed, I should say, to Chris Collingwood and Adam Schlesinger. And actually, they really just kind of agreed on that argument, but they tended to, or agreement, I should say, but they tended to write separately. Um, and so, generally speaking, a lot of the kind of funnier and faster paced songs are Adam songs. And the slower, more introspective ones are Chris songs. We'll get to an exception to that rule in just a second. But Bright Future in Sales, like I said, this record came out when I was 10, not quite 11. And, I was listening to it. And of course, the line in the chorus of I got to get my shit together. That line had never appeared on a Backstreet Boys record before, which was a lot of what I was listening to before I got into Fountains of Wayne and Incubus and all of that when I was, around 11 or 12. I always tell people that, if they ask if I had a rebellious phase, I said, well, I did listen to Incubus for a little bit. And they say, yeah, that doesn't count. But not only, him saying that, but just the way that he, emphasizes the word shit is just really, really great. And it's similar to Idiot Wind, where it's not Idiot Wind, it's Idiot Wind, like that, just really drawn out and making that point. So that's one of those things. And part of the genius of Adam was knowing what a song needs. Both of these songwriters really just knowing what the song needs, how it should be sung, how it should be played, all of that. And so that was just the genius of Fountains of Wayne. So speaking of knowing what a song needs, uh, knowing that a song even needs to exist, this next song is one that you all probably know. This is a song called Stacy's Mom. And Chris actually advised against putting it on the record, but Adam said, no, this is a hit. Um, and we need a hit because they had just gotten dropped by their label 4 years earlier. And so when they were recording this album, they actually didn't have a record deal. And that's what allowed it to be, so diverse and all of that. But they put this on there, and this song was actually inspired by a friend of Adam's growing up who made a comment about his grandma being very good looking. And so he turned that into Stacy's Mom. And that is this one. Stacy's mom has got it going on. 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 Stacy, can I come over after school? After school, we can hang around by the pool. Hang by the pool. Did your mom get back from a business trip? Business trip. Is she there, or is she trying to give me the slip? Give me the slip. You know I'm not the little boy that I used to be. I'm all grown up now, baby, can't you see? Stacy's mom has got it going up. She's all I want, and I waited for so long. Stacy, can't you see you're just nothing good for me? I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Stacy's mom. Stacy's mom has got it going on. 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 Stacy, do you remember when I mowed your lawn? Mowed your lawn. Your mom came out with just a towel towel on. I could tell she liked me from the way she stared, the way she stared, and the way she said, "You missed a spot over there, spot over there." And I know that you think it's just a fantasy, but since your dad walked out, your mom could use a guy like me. Stacy's mom has got it going on. She's all I want, and I waited for so long. Stacy, can't you see you're just not the girl for me? I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Stacy's mom. Stacy's mom has got it going on. She's all I want, and I waited for so long. Stacy, can't you see you're just not the girl for me? I know it might be wrong. I'm in love with Stacy's mom. Stacy's mom. Wait a minute, Stacy, can't you see you're just not the girl for me? I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Stacy's mom. All right, and that was Stacy's Mom by Fountains of Wayne, the song that you probably know by them, although, as you were going to see on this record, Stacy's Mom is a little bit of an outlier. A lot of these songs are about people who are, longing for a past life, and coping with them in not the healthiest of ways, coping with the fact that they, can't have that past life. Although it's interesting, I mentioned earlier that a lot of Adam's songs were on the funnier side, cynical side, all of that. But this next song is a song called Hackensack, and it's absolutely beautiful. But he actually meant it as a funny song. It's just set to a slow melody, you will see. And so that's just one of those things. He knew what the song needed, but he still views it as a funny song. By the way, speaking of people not, coping with things in the healthiest of ways, I forgot to mention that they mention a whiskey sour and the Bright Future in Sales, that song. And for Fountains of Wayne reasons, I tried one, enjoy it. And so shout out to you guys, Fountains of Wayne, for that little thing. And while I'm on the topic, Marcy Playground with mentioning Disco Lemonade and their song Sex and Candy. Same thing happened. Power of music. But anyway, this is a song called Hackensack, and I hope you enjoy it. I used to know you when we were young. You were in all my dreams. We sat together in period 1, Fridays at 8:15. Now I see your face in the strangest places, movies and magazines. I saw you talking to Christopher Walken on my TV screen. But I will wait for you as long as I need to. And if you ever get back to Hackensack, I'll be here for you. I used to work in a record store. Now I work for my dad, scraping the paint on the hardwood floors. The hours are pretty bad. Sometimes I wonder where you are, probably in LA. That seems to be where everybody else ends up these days. But I will wait for you as long as I need to. And if you ever get back to Hackensack, I'll be here for you. But I will wait for you as long as I need to. And if you ever get back to Hackensack, I'll be here for you. And if you ever get back to Hackensack, I'll be here for you. All right, and that was Hackensack by Fountains of Wayne. Like I said, that was another Adam song. That song was randomly covered by Katy Perry during her MTV Unplugged session special, however you want to put it. And she did a pretty decent job with it. So that's definitely worth checking out. But then, obviously, if you have not heard the original, I would definitely go check that out. So this next song is called oh, and also, by the way, I need to point out before I do the next song, Hackensack is one of the many Fountains of Wayne songs that has taught me about East Coast geography. I thought Hackensack was an interesting name. And so looked it up, and oh yeah, New Jersey, and they reference New York and New Jersey quite a bit in their songs, and so that kind of led me down a rabbit hole to be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what they're talking about here. And then, of course, in Moving Out, Anthony's song, Who Needs a House Out in Hackensack? Is that all you get for your money? But I heard it first from Fountains of Wayne, so take that, Billy Joel. This next song is a song called No Better Place, and you're not going to hear it in my version, but the first time I heard this and listened to the solo in the song, the way that the guitar was played reminded me of something out of like an Allman Brothers song or something kind of Southern rock. So this song is really what, got me thinking like, oh man, this album is pretty diverse. Even if I, didn't necessarily use that word at the age of 10. But, oh yeah, there's a lot musically, a lot more than what you hear with Stacy's mom with the power pop. But this is No Better Place, and I hope you enjoy it. Is that supposed to be a poker face? Was someone run over by a train? You're minding your own business, but you're begging for forgiveness just the same. And it's running bang on inside your mind, just how that time to find you dressed you up, painted on your face. Now you're leaving New York, for no better place. You're awake and trying not to be wrapped around your pillow like a cloth. And the night time's wrapped around you will be until it traps you on the dawn. From the sea train to the shiny tower, picked around till happy hour, found you where you can drink that smoke right off your face. Now you're leaving New York, for no better place. Use your reflection in a building uptown. The ghost inside some Madison Avenue display. Like water under bridges, you slowly pass her by to sail between the rooftops and the sky. The bourbon sits inside me. Right now I'm a puppet in its sway. And it may be the whiskey talking, but the whiskey says I miss you every day. So I taxi to an all-night party, mommy and an owner in an old chair, sip my drink and stare out into space. Now you're leaving New York, for no better place. Now you're leaving New York, for no better place. Now you're leaving New York, for no better place. All right, and that was No Better Place by Fountains of Wayne. That last verse, and I'm a big proponent of when you're telling a story, your last verse has to be the most powerful. And it kind of stops a little bit more than it did, and the bourbon sits inside me right now. I'm a puppet in its sway, and it may be the whiskey talking, but the whiskey says I miss you every day. That's just such a powerful line, personifying the whiskey in that way. Before it became cool to write about whiskey, just throwing that out there. Um, that's that, and then the taxiing to an all-night party, park me in a corner in an old chair, sip my drink, and stare out into space. One of the tricks that they use in there, that even though there's, I guess it's more of a hook, but it's similar to what happened in Tangled Up in Blue, where you just rhyme with the title, right? So you have space in that last one, um, where you can drink that smirk right off your face. That particular one in the second verse. Um, and then in the first verse, uh, dressed you up, painted on your face. That's what it is. Just kind of switching that up, hearing something different, but then going back to the now you're leaving New York for no better place. It's one of my favorite songs on the record. And then, like I said, if you listen to the original, the solo evokes some like southern rock, like Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner sounding type guitar, and it's just really, really well done. So this next song is about somebody who's trying to chase away the winter blues. Maybe got a little SAD going there. I think Chris Collingwood said something about that when I saw him, and should point out We're not entirely sure who wrote No Better Place, but Chris definitely did write this next one, which is Valley Winter Song. I do wanna, just give a quick shout out, and, I apologize, I can't remember, his name, but I'm part of a, Fountains of Wayne group online, and, he was nice enough to, make a spreadsheet of all the songs that, Chris wrote, all of the songs that Adam wrote, and all the ones that are unknown. There are a couple of them that I kind of added to that I knew from various stories over the years, hearing those. But really, I think that was just one, and then the other ones, kind of guessing on. But Valley Winter Song was definitely a Chris song, and this is one of my favorites, and I'll explain how it influenced me in a little bit. But this is Valley Winter Song, and I hope you enjoy it. Hey, sweet Annie, don't take it so bad. You know the summer's coming soon. Now the interstate is choking under salt and dirty sand, and it seems the sun is hiding from the moon. Your daddy told you when you were a girl the kind of things that come to those who wait. So give it a rest, girl. Take a deep breath, girl, and meet me in the Bay State tonight. The snow is coming down on our New England town, and it's been falling all day long. What else is new? What can I do? I wrote a Valley Winter song to blame for you. In late December can drag a man down. You really deep in your gut. Short days and afternoons spent puttering around in a dark house with the windows painted shut. Remember New York staring outside as reckless winter made its way from Staten Island to the Upper West Side, widening out our streets along the way. The snow is coming down on our New England town, and it's been falling all day long. What else is new? What can I do? Let's sing this Valley Winter song I wrote for you. The snow is coming down on our New England town, and it's been falling all day long. What else is new? What can I do? Let's sing this Valley Winter song I wrote for you. All right, and that was Valley Winter Song by Fountains of Wayne, again, off of Welcome Interstate Managers, which turns 20 years old today. That's hard to believe. I actually um, had on June 10th of last year, uh, I came across this anniversary, and so I've literally been planning this for a year. And I did the same thing with All About Chemistry, the 20th anniversary, which is 2 years ago. That's the Semisonic album. Fabulous, fabulous record. And kind of a similar situation where they have a lot to offer, but kind of get in the one hit wonder uh, pigeonhole. But a lot of great songs, and even their one hit wonder wasn't all that bad. So that particular song, Valley Winter Song, although much, much different rhythmically, melodically, my song Mr. Policeman has a line that says, "They're chasing me through snow and desert sand." And when I wrote that, I had Valley Winter Song on my mind with the interstate is choking under salt and dirty sand, and so that's where I got that idea for that line from. And so that's just one of the ways Fountains of Wayne has always been in my subconscious. So this was a couple of years after it came out, but in 7th grade, we did a medieval unit in my history class, my social studies class, and at the end of it, we had a big medieval banquet. And my friend Joe Summers played. He was one of the jesters, as was I. And I can't remember what he played, but I played Little Red Light by Fountains of Wayne, which I'll play in a second, and then also Macy's Day Parade, and by Green Day. And I should have ended with Little Red Light since that's the one I'm going to play. But it should be noted that when I saw Fountains of Wayne live in 2009, the first song that they did for their encore was 21 Guns by Green Day. So later Green Day than Macy's Day Parade by about 9 years. But there is a little bit of a connection there that we're going to roll with because I said those things in a weird order. But and actually, now that I'm saying that, I almost skipped a fabulous song, and that's All Kinds of Time. So we're going to do that next, and then we will do Little Red Light, like that. So just a very well organized show we have here. But this is a song called All Kinds of Time, and I'll talk about the how this song has influenced me over the years. But this song was actually an Adam song, even though it's one of the slower ones, kind of similar to Hackensack, but more so, he just got this concept in his head of all kinds of time. And the way that he put it was, let's see how far I can take this before it gets obnoxious. And I might have added the before it gets obnoxious part, but kind of let's see how far I can take this. Metaphor of or this concept of having all kinds of time, and it's just an absolutely beautiful song. So here it is for you, All Kinds of Time. The clock's running down, the team's losing ground to the opposing defense. The young quarterback waits for the snap when suddenly it all starts to make sense. He's got all kinds of time. He's got all kinds of time. All kinds of time. He's got all kinds of time, all kinds of time, all kinds of time. He takes a step back, he's under attack, but he knows that no one can touch him now. He seems so at ease, strange and at peace, is all that he's feeling somehow. He's got all kinds of time, all kinds of time, all kinds of time. He's got all kinds of time, all kinds of time, all kinds of time. He thinks of his mother, he thinks of his bride to me. He thinks of his father, his two younger brothers, gathered around the widescreen TV. Looks to the left, he looks to the right. We're in a golden ray of light. It's his older man, just like he planned. The whole world is his tonight. He's got all kinds of time, he's got all kinds of time, all kinds of time. He's got all kinds of time, all kinds of time. All right, and that was All Kinds of Time by Fountains of Wayne. In addition to being just a very generally beautiful song, the way that that song has influenced my songwriting is uh, no matter what song it was that I wrote, that coda at the end I would always try to play it. It's just a really, really iconic, recognizable, riff at the very end, that coda, and, that's the thing that stuck out to me. Um, and, so it's just a fabulous, fabulous song. So speaking of fabulous songs, now we get to the one that I played at the medieval banquet. And this was Little Red Light. And, I was laughing uh, to myself, thinking, boy, this is a really appropriate song to play in seventh grade, given you'll see in the second verse. But it really is because it's about, somebody who's burned out and overworked, and his significant other won't call him back and all of that. And at least the first two lend themselves very well to being a serf or a jester in medieval times. So, I guess it fit. I don't know. Can't speak for Macy's Day Parade, but I'm not playing that one. So this is Little Red Light, and I want to give a shout out to my mom really quick because I shared a playlist with her of songs that Adam Schlesinger had written, so she could do her own deep dive. And this was on there, and she had heard this song multiple times before, but said, "Man, I forgot what a great song Little Red Light is," and I agree. So here it is, Little Red Light. Sitting in traffic on the Tappan Zee, 50 million people out in front of me, trying to cross the water, but it just might be a while. Rain's coming down, I can't see a thing. Radio is broken, so I'm whistling. New York to Nyack feels like 100 miles. It's not right, it's not fair. I'm still a mess and you still don't care. I go to work, I come back home, but you're still gone and I'm still alone. And the little red light's not blinking. No, the little red light's not blinking. No, the little red light's not blinking on my big black plastic Japanese cordless phone. Oh no. Stuck in a meeting on a Monday night, trying to get the numbers to come out right. I'm getting tired, think I just might need a drink. And as I'm reaching in the bottom drawer, I'm dreaming about the way it was before. Life was so easy, I never really had to think. It's not right, it's not fair. I'm still a mess and you still don't care. I go to sleep when I wake up. The pain sets in and it never stops. Oh, and the little red light's not blinking. No, the little red light's not blinking. No, the little red light's not blinking on my desktop mailbox and my big black laptop. Oh no. Oh no. It's not right, it's not fair. I'm still a mess and you still don't care. I go to work, I come back home, but you're still gone and I'm still alone. Oh, and the little red light's not blinking. No, the little red light's not blinking. No, the little red light's not blinking on my big black Radio Shack digital portable phone. Oh no, oh no, oh no. All right, and that was Little Red Light by Fountains of Wayne. Again, we're celebrating Welcome Interstate Managers, which came out 20 years ago today, June 10th of 2003. We are halfway there. Bon Jovi would be very proud of us, but he's not the New Jerseyan we're celebrating today, or any day for that matter. But we're talking about Fountains of Wayne here. So Little Red Light, just got to point this out. A couple things. Number one, I write a blog for the Memphis Songwriters Association, and this one will actually be coming out on Monday, or is out if you watch it after Monday. Watch this particular live stream. But one of the things that I talked about was outdated visuals, and Payphone by Maroon 5 was the song that I ended up talking about when it came to phones, because that's what kind of started me on this path. of talking about outdated visuals, but my mom pointed out Little Red Light, which of course is, very, a little bit outdated, in terms of, well, even leaving a voicemail, we'll put it that way. But one of the other things that really made me laugh is going back over the lyrics, and in the last chorus, the big black Radio Shack digital portable phone. Radio Shack has one store left, come find them. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but not much. So Radio Shack is an outdated visual as well. And if you have a problem with that Radio Shack, come find me. But I know you won't. So that's that. And then of course, the whole thing is to the backdrop of well, not really the backdrop, it's in the foreground, of You Won't Call Me Back. And so, it only took me 16 years after hearing Little Red Light for the first time. But, I wrote one of my own, and same phone number. And people were saying, like, oh, it's, really cynical, even though it's catchy. And so that's a little bit, I think, of Fountains of Wayne shining through, because their cynicism toward relationships is something that I aspire to every day. So, that's just one of those things. But one of the great things about them, of course, is that they're very diverse in what they write about. And so, kind of the counter argument to this is a good relationship that is talked about in the next song, which is Hey Julie. And I hope you enjoy it. Working all day for a mean little man with a clip-on tie and a rub-on tan. He's got me running around the office like a dog around a track. When I get back home, you're always there to rub my back. Hey, Julie, look what they're doing to me, trying to dream me up, trying to wear me now. Julie, I swear it's so undermerit, and I never make it through without you around. No, I never make it through without you around. I was on the phone making pointless calls. I got a desk full of paper that means nothing at all. Sometimes I catch myself staring into space, counting down the hours till I get to see your face. Hey, Julie, look what they're doing to me, trying to trip me up, trying to wear me down. Julie, I swear it's so undermerit, and I never make it through without you around. No, I'll never make it through without you around. How did it come to me that you and I must be far away from each other every day? Why must I spend my time filling up my mind with Mexican figures that never had 'em anyway? They never had 'em anyway. Working on the morning, little man with a Mac. Working all day for a mean little guy with a bad toupee and a suit-stained tie. He's got me running around the office like a gerbil on a wheel. He can tell me what to do, but he can't tell me what to feel. Hey, Julie, look what they're doing to me, trying to trip me up, trying to wear me down. Julie, I swear it's so undermerit, and I never make it through without you around. No, I never make it through without you around. No, I never make it through without you around. All right, and that was Hey Julie by Fountains of Wayne. As I remember, my guitar teacher, Matt, taught me how to play that one, and Little Red Light, and Mexican Wine. I think maybe All Kinds of Time as well, although I might have taught myself that one. But he was very crucial in me learning a lot of these Fountains of Wayne songs. So shout out to you, Matt Prudell. Um, so that particular song, actually, those last 2 were both, Adam's songs. This next one, on the spreadsheet that, like I said, was provided in that Fountains of Wayne group, said "unknown," but I actually remember, reading an interview with, Adam, years ago talking about the song "Haley's Waitress" and saying that, Chris is from, Pennsylvania, and so he's just fascinated with, kind of the restaurant scene in New York and how fast-paced it is, and, you got people who are waiters and waitresses, but, oh, they're trying to be an actor or, whatever, and, kinda snarky toward him or, whatever. So I remember reading that, and so my hunch is that, Chris wrote this particular song. I'm fairly certain that Adam said that he did. Um, could be completely wrong though, but that would definitely be my guess. So this is a song called "Haley's Waitress," and, my cousin used to work at a restaurant in Minnesota with a waitress named Haley, and so when this song came out, that was kind of the visual in my mind was Haley, even though, it's talking about a restaurant called Haley's. Although, I do wanna just throw this out there, that, it's all about this waitress that never comes around, and, so I read something a theory that she comes around as much as Haley's Comet, and so that might be, how she got her name, or how the restaurant got its name of Haley's Waitress instead of Haley's Comet. But enough with speculation. Let's listen to the song. I'll play it, you listen. Haley's waitress never comes around. She's hiding in the kitchen. She's nowhere to be found. I just want some coffee. Is that too much to ask? Haley's waitress is not up to the task. And when she finally appears, it's like she's been away for years. It's been so long, so long. Darling, don't you know we miss you when you're gone? So long, so long. Darling, don't you know we miss you when you're gone? Haley's waitress has vanished once again. She's talking to her agent. She's calling all her friends. I just want some coffee. Is that too much to ask? Haley's waitress is not up to the task. It's been so long, so long. Darling, don't you know we miss you when you're gone? So long, so long. Darling, don't you know we miss you when you're gone? All right, and that was Haley's Waitress. We made it. Um, so this next song was another Chris song. This one was definitely a Chris song, I should say. Um, and the way that I figured that out, actually, is read an interview with both Chris and Adam from, I don't know, like 2003 ish. Um, Like, I think it was before Stacy's mom hit it big, so it might have even been before then. But anyway, at some point in the interview, Chris was talking about, oh, he went through a country phase, where he was writing a lot of country songs. And this particular one was the product of one of those writing sessions. And it's a song called Hung Up on You. And I've always really liked this song. And my neighbor Paul, who I told you about earlier, who kind of tipped me off to Fountains of Wayne, he, kind of make fun of me. And he's like, oh, you would like the song that's making fun of country music. But the deeper you dive into Fountains of Wayne, you realize it's not making fun of it. It's just like, writing a country song with, the same chords and all of that. And you can even play this one and sing Wagon Wheel, if you want. I don't know why you would, because Hung Up on You is the much better song. But this is another one that has the, strongest verse at the end. And it's just a fabulous song. So this is Hung Up on You by Fountains of Wayne, and I hope you enjoy it. While I down Kentucky bourbon, I am waiting for a car. And the moon and stars tonight are playing shadows on the wall. With the moon the way it is, dear, would you answer out of spite? Or are you feeling lonely tonight? 'Cause I remember last time we were out under the stars, driving crooked down the highway, drinking beer in roadside bars. Now and then I wonder why this painful memory can never find its way to you from me. And I can't dial the moon just now, even though I know your number. Can't bring my broken heart to be untrue. Like you didn't you say goodbye the same old way. Ever since you hung up on me, I'm hung up on you. Now the house I'm ringing up from is a half a mile from you. But with the reception I'm getting, might as well be Timbuktu. Now behind the door of your home is a strange and foreign land. You speak a language I don't understand. And I cannot moan just now, even though I know your number. Can't bring my broken heart to be untrue. Like you didn't nail saying goodbye the same old way. Ever since you hung up on me, I'm hung up on you. Now I'm going down to Jimmy's bar like 1,000 other times, with an appetite for poison and a suitcase full of dimes. And I wait there by the payphone with 100 other guys, with those sorry young up teardrops in our eyes. And I cannot moan just now, even though I know your number. Can't bring my broken heart to be untrue. Like you did, and then you'll say goodbye in the same old way. Ever since you hung up on me, I'm hung up on you. Ever since you hung up on me, I'm hung up on you. All right, and that was Hung Up on You, like I said, by Fountains of Wayne. That was a Chris song, as was presumably Haley's Waitress. Like I said, don't know for sure, but based on that interview with Adam, pretty sure that it was. This next one was an Adam song, and this is a song called Fire Island, and I hope you enjoy it. Driving on the lawn, sleeping on the roof, drinking all the alcohol. All the kids from school will be naked in the pool, while our parents are on Fire Island, cranking up the tunes till the windows break, feeding chocolate to the dog, jumping on the couch till the feathers all come out, while the parents are on Fire Island. We're old enough by now to take care of each other. We don't need no babysitter. We don't need no father, mother. We're old enough by now. Don't worry about a thing. Don't you remember last December when you went to Steamboat Springs? We're old enough by now to take care of each other. We don't need no babysitter. We don't need no father, mother. We're old enough by now. Don't worry about a thing. Don't you remember last December when you went to Steamboat Springs? Driving on the lawn, sleeping on the roof, drinking all the alcohol. The kids from school will be naked in the pool while their parents are Fire Island. All right, and that was Fire Island by Fountains of Wayne. So with how far back I go with this particular record, I went to school with a kid in like 5th or 6th grade, who would tell me about, used to vacation in Steamboat Springs, and he's like, "Oh, do you know where that is?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do," because of Fountains of Wayne, and I looked it up. That one's actually not an East Coast reference. Um, that I believe Steamboat Springs is in, like, Colorado or something, which threw me because Fire Island is in New York. And so, that kinda threw me off there. So I might have my wires crossed still, but, that's just one of those things that, always interested in the geography of Fountains of Wayne. So this next song, speaking of knowing the moment, this is a song called, "Peace and Love." And this particular song is actually unknown who wrote it, whether it was Chris or Adam. If I had to guess, I would say an Adam song, but uh, the lines get blurred a little bit more as we move on because they were both fabulous songwriters. Chris is thankfully still with us. Adam unfortunately passed away about 3 years ago, due to COVID. But this is Peace and Love by Fountains of Wayne, and I hope you enjoy it. Peace and love, that's all I'm thinking about, baby. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, that's all I'm thinking about, baby. Peace and love, riding around in a Volkswagen van, thinking about the people upside down in Japan, staring at the stars in a distant galaxy, wondering if there's someone out there staring back at me, singing peace and love, peace and love, that's all I'm thinking about, baby. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love, that's all I'm thinking about, baby. Peace and love, lying on the floor, just playing my guitar, trying to find the chords for just the way you are. Plane crash flashing on my TV. Well, it could have been you, baby, it could have been me. We'll never live forever, but maybe things could be worse. 'Cause when we get together, we are one with the universe. Ooh, 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 ooh. Sometimes I think I might just move up to Vermont, open a bookstore or a vegan restaurant. That crazy karma never harmed a single soul. So if you wanna join me, then together we'll grow old, singing peace and love, peace and love. That's all I'm thinking about, baby. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. That's all I'm thinking about, baby. Peace and love. All right, and that was Peace and Love by Fountains of Wayne. Like I said, off of Welcome Interstate Managers. That album turns 20 today, June 10th, 2003. And one of my favorite albums, just as a fan of music, but then also as a songwriter, developing characters was their thing. And, I saw something that, an interview with Adam or an excerpt where he, said that he's not sure that everybody will identify with, alcoholics or lawyers, but, or both, some of them are both. But, he just said, like, it's, just what I'm writing about, and, he said, "I hope that people like it." I definitely did. I don't know what it was. Maybe I've always been a big Steely Dan fan, and so maybe it's something having to do with that and kind of that East Coast humor and all these frustrated suburbanites that they're writing about. But just absolutely fabulous. So I mentioned earlier that Fountains of Wayne recorded this album when they didn't have a record deal, and part of the reason why it took 4 years, in addition to getting another label, was just kind of getting motivated. And there was a little bit of Chris that thought, hey, not necessarily the fear of success, but just like, I don't want to, um, you know, stump for the man, as they say in this particular song, Bought First Song. And so that's this song that I'm going to play, Bought First Song. And even though I mentioned Chris, this is actually an Adam song. And it's got some really funny lines in it that just seem random, but are, very well put. So this is Bought for a Song, and I hope you enjoy it. Come on now, get your ass out of bed. You heard when the man said the crew is already gone. We were all kinda high, but man, what were you on? Tried to take the shuttle to Spain, they kicked me off of the plane. I guess I'll go to Japan. Well, it all looks the same when you stump for the man. And down in the valley we crawl in the alley. Who knew the 101 was so long? Before you get sold, you get bought for a song. Sake in aluminum cans, it fell in the wrong hands, and now I'm chewing the scene. Stumbling out of the Lexington Queen. Walking through a German hotel, I'm now walking very well. Walking through a German hotel, I'm now walking very well. I gotta get to the van. Excuse me, I'm waving as fast as I can. And Tom won't admit he got lost in the city. He said that the directions are wrong. Before you get sold, you get bought for a song. And Tom won't admit he got lost in the city. He said that the directions are wrong. Before you get sold, you get bought for a song. Before you get sold, you get bought for a song. Before you get sold, you get bought for a song. All right, and that was Bought for a Song. So this next one is a song called Super Collider, and this is a little bit more of a psychedelic song. My guess is this is a Chris song. but that is only because it's a little bit more, out there in terms of, lyrics and all of that, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just a little more, um, philosophical, I suppose. And that's my guess. But it is unknown technically um, who wrote this particular one, at least according to my spreadsheet. So this is Super Collider. I had to learn a couple of new chords for this song, so you are welcome. Multicolored microbus plowing over rugged terrain. We're jagging the radio, passing the afternoon train. Around the roses she showed us hyacinths and sage. Gold-plated garden tools, sun lamps, and it's all the rage. Stay low to the ground or they'll sniff you out. You never know what you will find when you go out of the blackness into the gray big sky. Super collider shooting inside your mind. Gather round the gas tower, don't it kinda look like a bomb? I heard him bang words hidden in a Pink Floyd song. Stellar radiata, it's got to set your mind at ease. Swinging on the tire swing, flying like Tarzan through the trees. And back to the bus when the sun goes down, trying to aim it back into town. We're riding out of the blackness into the gray big sky. Super collider shooting inside your mind. And coriander grows along the banks where we go walking at night, gleaming slowly over the ground. We tiptoe around the garden, trying not to make a sound. Stay low to the ground or they'll sniff you out. You never know what you will find when you go out of the blackness into the gray big sky. Super collider shooting inside your mind when you go out of the blackness into the gray big sky. Super collider shooting inside your mind. super collider shooting inside your mind. All right, and that was Super Collider, like I said, by Fountains of Wayne off of their fabulous album, Welcome Interstate Managers, which just turned 20 today, and has not aged a bit. It's still sounds just as good as it did back then. So this last song is a very short song of theirs, um, and it's a song called "Yours and Mine." And this is a theory that somebody on the Fountains of Wayne Facebook page pointed out that Chris and Adam would write separately. And some of that was just they didn't get along super well towards the end of the group. And this might have been a little bit early for that. But the speculation by this person was that this was an Adam song, kind of talking about, oh, yeah, this is the stuff that we do share, and kind of ending on a sweet note. But it's unknown who wrote it. And in terms of how it fits into the rest of the record, similarly to Hey Julie, right, where you have these experiences outside of the home, and missing that thing to come home to, and basically the thing to live for. And so this is kind of that song. And this is Yours and Mine, and I hope you enjoy it. In about an hour, the sunlight's gonna fade, and you and me will divvy up the wine. Like everything else here, yours and mine. We pick up the paper, the coffee's been made. It's book review and Face the Nation time. Lying two in the same mind, yours and mine. All right, and that was Yours and Mine, closing out Fountains of Wayne's album, Welcome Interstate Managers. I do want to point out some honorable mention. There is a Japanese bonus track called Elevator Up that I discovered, I think, when I was doing radio. Shout out to KSMR in Winona. And I played it and just thought it was phenomenal. Hence why I played it. Can't pull that one off on guitar and make it sound nearly as good as the original. I'm pretending like I did that with the other songs, but passable. That particular song would not have been. But want to give a shout out to Fountains of Wayne. Since Adam has passed, I've been really doing a deep dive into his stuff that he did, both with the band, with Ivy, through Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and his other work in film and television. Just an absolute genius. And Chris Collingwood, fabulous songwriter in his own right. They didn't necessarily work well together, but separately they wrote just absolutely amazing songs. And this particular album is probably their masterpiece, in my opinion, just because it has so many different styles and all of that. And so, absolutely. Um, Something to be celebrated, 20 years. So we'll, if assuming this doesn't become an annual tradition, probably the 25th, the silver anniversary is when I'll see you next, celebrating these songs. But just absolutely a great piece of work. People have described me that way too, but not in a flattering way. But yeah, so welcome Interstate Managers. Thank you, Fountains of Wayne, for such an awesome, awesome record. Something that has really sent me on a really good path in terms of songwriting and character development and all of that good stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to check me out on iTunes and Spotify and anywhere you get music, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube.